Picture this. Two friends walk into the same coffee shop on the same Tuesday morning. Sarah orders her usual latte and somehow ends up chatting with the person behind her in line, who turns out to be a hiring manager at her dream company. Meanwhile, Mike gets his coffee, sits alone, scrolls his phone, and leaves. Sarah calls it luck. Mike calls it unfair. But here's the thing that'll blow your mind. Sarah isn't just randomly blessed by the universe. She's unconsciously doing something that makes her a magnet for what we call good luck. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that is. We're about to dive deep into the psychology, philosophy, and hidden behavioral patterns that separate the seemingly lucky from the perpetually unlucky. Trust me, this isn't about crystals or cosmic energy. It's about something way more fascinating. So what is luck really? Most people think of it as some mysterious force, like the universe randomly deciding who gets the promotion, who meets their soulmate at a random party, or who stumbles across a $20 bill on the sidewalk. But philosophers have been wrestling with this for centuries. The ancient Greeks had two different words for luck: touch, which was pure random chance, and kairos, which was about seizing the right moment. The Romans called it fortuna, a goddess who was literally blindfolded, spinning a wheel. Psychologists today have a different take. They've discovered that luck isn't just about random events happening to you. It's about how you interact with randomness. Today, we're going to unpack why some people seem to live charmed lives, while others can't catch a break. And here's the spoiler. It has way more to do with your brain than with the cosmos. Let me introduce you to Dr. Richard Wiseman, a psychologist who spent a decade studying luck, gathered hundreds of people who considered themselves either very lucky or very unlucky, and what he found was mind-blowing. The lucky people weren't actually encountering more positive random events. They were just better at noticing and acting on opportunities. Here's his most famous experiment. He gave people a newspaper and asked them to count how many photographs were inside. The unlucky people carefully flipped through every page, counting photos. The lucky people found a message on page 2 that said, "Stop counting. There are 43 photographs in this newspaper," and immediately knew the answer. The unlucky people were so focused on their task that they missed the obvious shortcut staring them in the face. This is where cognitive psychology gets fascinating. Lucky people have what researchers call relaxed attention. Instead of tunnel vision, they maintain what psychologists call soft focus. They're aware of their periphery. Think about it like this. Imagine you're walking through a forest, looking for a specific type of bird. The unlucky person stares straight ahead, missing the rare butterfly that lands on a nearby branch. The lucky person notices the butterfly, follows it, and discovers a hidden meadow they never would have found otherwise. But it goes deeper than just paying attention. Lucky people have a different relationship with uncertainty. Where unlucky people see chaos and threat, lucky people see possibility and adventure. There's actually a neurological basis for this. Studies show that people who consider themselves lucky have higher levels of what neuroscientists call openness to experience. Their brains literally process new information differently. They're more likely to make novel connections between seemingly unrelated things. So what do lucky people actually do differently? First, they're social risk takers. Remember Sarah from the coffee shop? She talks to strangers. Not because she's naturally extroverted, but because she's unconsciously calculated that the potential upside of a random conversation outweighs the minor awkwardness of small talk. Lucky people understand what mathematicians call asymmetric risk situations, where the potential gain is massive compared to the potential loss. Talking to a stranger might be slightly uncomfortable, but it could lead to a job, a friendship, or even love. Second, they embrace what psychologists call intelligent failure. When something doesn't work out, lucky people don't see it as proof that the universe is against them. They see it as data. Take James Dyson, the inventor of the revolutionary vacuum cleaner. He created 5,126 failed prototypes before his 5,127th attempt worked. Most people would have given up after prototype number 50, but Dyson saw each failure as getting closer to success. He was collecting information, not accumulating defeats. Third, lucky people are masters of what researchers call social network diversification. They don't just hang out with people exactly like them. They collect weak ties, acquaintances from different industries, backgrounds, and perspectives. Mark Granovetter's famous study found that most people get jobs through weak ties, not close friends. Your best friend probably works in a similar field and knows similar opportunities, but your college roommate's cousin who works in a completely different industry, that's where the unexpected opportunities come from. Lucky people intuitively understand this, say yes to random invitations, they attend events outside their comfort zone, and they maintain relationships with people who seem unconnected to their immediate goals. Now let's go deeper. Philosophy has some fascinating insights about luck and perception. Stoics had this concept called premeditatio malorum, imagining the worst-case scenario, not to be pessimistic, but to appreciate what you have and prepare for what might come. Paradoxically, this makes you luckier because you're not caught off guard by setbacks. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is transformation. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Lucky people embody this wisdom. They understand that external events are neutral until we assign meaning to them. But here's where it gets really interesting. Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre argued that we're condemned to be free, meaning we're always choosing how to respond to circumstances, even when we can't choose the circumstances themselves. Lucky people intuitively grasp this distinction. They focus on what philosophers call their responsibility, their ability to respond creatively to whatever situation they encounter. There's also this beautiful concept from Buddhism called beginner's mind, or Shoshin. It's about approaching each situation with openness and curiosity, without preconceptions about how things should go. Lucky people maintain beginner's mind. They don't walk into situations with rigid scripts about how things will unfold. This mental flexibility allows them to spot opportunities that more close-minded people miss entirely. Eastern philosophy also gives us the concept of wu wei, action through non-action, or going with the flow while remaining alert and ready. Lucky people have mastered this balance between effort and ease, between planning and spontaneity. All right, enough theory. How do you actually become luckier? First, practice opportunity scanning. Once a day, deliberately look for something you normally wouldn't notice. Take a different route home. Sit in a different spot at lunch. Read an article about something completely outside your field. You're literally training your brain to spot patterns and possibilities. Second, implement what I call the yes bias. For 1 week, say yes to invitations you'd normally decline. Not dangerous stuff, but social events, networking opportunities, random coffee meetings. You're expanding your surface area for luck. Third, start collecting interesting people. Make it a goal to have one meaningful conversation with someone new every week. Ask them about their work, their passions, their biggest challenges. You're not networking in a sleazy way. You're building a diverse web of human connections. Fourth, reframe your failures. When something doesn't work out, ask yourself, what information did I just gather? Instead of why does this always happen to me? You're literally rewiring your brain to see setbacks as data instead of defeats. Fifth, practice what researchers call counterfactual gratitude. Instead of thinking about how things could be better, occasionally think about how they could be worse. This isn't about settling for less. It's about recognizing the positive elements already present in your life. Finally, embrace strategic randomness. Once a week, do something slightly unpredictable. Take a class in something you know nothing about. Attend an event where you don't know anyone. Order something random off a menu. You're increasing your chances of what mathematicians call positive black swan events. It's unlikely but life-changing positive surprises. So here's what we've discovered. Lucky people aren't blessed by cosmic forces. They're skilled at 3 things: noticing opportunities, taking intelligent social risks, and maintaining a mindset that turns obstacles into information. They understand that luck is largely about preparation, meeting opportunity, and they prepare by staying open, building connections, and maintaining what we might call flexible optimism. But here's the deeper truth. The question isn't whether you're inherently lucky or unlucky. The question is whether you're willing to develop the skills and mindset that make luck more likely. Because here's the beautiful paradox. The moment you stop waiting for luck and start creating conditions for it, you become the kind of person that others call naturally lucky. So I'll leave you with this question to ponder. Do you think luck is something you're born with, or something you can cultivate? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and some of the most fascinating insights come from you, the viewers. If this perspective on luck and opportunity changed how you think about randomness in your own life, smash that like button. And if you want more deep dives into psychology, philosophy, and the hidden patterns that shape our lives, hit subscribe and ring the notification bell. Thanks for exploring the mystery of luck with me today. Till next time, keep your eyes open. You never know what opportunities might be hiding in plain sight.